Hello everyone, welcome to another Blue Hat SEO series episode. In this episode, we will give you 3 simple SEO suggestions and in a way that you can directly implement them for your SEO projects. In every Blue Hat SEO video, we give unique suggestions based on the real-world SEO case studies. I will suggest you to check the previous videos as well. If you follow us for a really long time, this video might be simple for you, but we try to help everyone from different backgrounds in the holistic SEO communities. If you want harder, more detailed or deep SEO videos, I will suggest you to check holistic SEO case studies rather than the Blue Hat ones. But still, in all these Blue Hat videos, even if you have actually over 15 years of SEO experience, as long as you keep listening, I can tell you that you will always see something new. The first suggestion for this project is try to understand the ranking pattern changes. What does it mean? If you look at the ranking change that happens in this area and ranking change that happens in this area, they are not from the same pattern. This is directly a machine learning classification change, which means that actually you were being clustered with a certain type of web sources. Then your cluster has been changed and re-ranking, and a sudden change happened. And after a while, the search engine started to change your cluster one more time and you came back. If you have these type of drops, I usually suggest actually quick page rank increases because you will be able to tell the search engine that you are doing the wrong, classification there in an easier way too. Another way of protecting yourself from these type of changes is actually updating most of your content. And this is one of the actually strong sides of this specific project. Even if we are ranking really well or even if we are losing the traffic, we always keep updating our content in every 6 months. In this one actually, as based on the actual query changes after the core updates or topical distance changes or query cluster changes, user behavior changes, we keep updating the content always on. Since we always update the content and since we always continue to increase our overall relevance, we eventually get a positive ranking state. The second suggestion here is that just because you are losing the traffic, please do not change what you are doing. Most of these changes are actually coming from the search engine side and they are just testing you, and these tests sometimes might take actually even 2 months. So just because you are losing the traffic, it doesn't mean that it will stay like that. You can get a sudden traffic increase and you can be so happy. Then again, you start to decrease and you can be so sad. So another thing that I always say that as a motto, do not get sad, do not get happy based on Search Console or let's say affiliate income graphics. Just keep going with the same holistic SEO mindset and the principles as much as possible. So based on the, let's say, helpful content updates, spam updates, and 3 different core updates, we came to this specific level. And we already have given you actually 2 suggestions, and let's move on to the third one. I just asked ChatGPT a simple thing. I said that give me addiction-related most important and relevant 100 concepts in a list. When it comes to the macro semantics, we talk about micro semantics a lot, and a little bit I defined the macro semantics too in our Topical authority course and our private community meetups too. But when it comes to the macro semantics, it is not about a specific paragraph, heading section, or sometimes not even about a specific web page. It's about an entire site mostly. So sometimes I just take these most important entities and attributes. You don't have to take them from, by the way, ChatGPT. You can use other sources. Since it is getting more popular, I try to give my suggestions based on your habits. And I just do this type of a simple check. I just come here, I write a concept, and then I check how many pages actually mention this specific concept in what way. If you're able to use the most important entities with the right context, with the most important attribute, with a proper connection, you will be creating an information graph. Before in our website, like 3 years ago, even more than 3 years ago, and I know that I am saying that keep updating your content in every 6 months, but I am not doing SEO for this website, so that's why articles are decaying, but still, they are decaying for query relevance, not for usefulness. What I do here is actually creating a certain type of information graph based on certain type of sentences. If you look at here, I have used actually 5 sentences here. Let me just check it. 5 or 6 sentences I have used here, and I use these sentences in a really basic way. Then I recognize the entities and their types, and I give them in a table. Then I use a certain type of library here, which is natural language processing and also data visualization library, which is Matplotlib, NetworkX, and Spacy. And then I create the graph, which means that when you actually create a semantic content network, you are actually creating an information graph. I wouldn't call it knowledge graph because it's something else. When I say the information graph, I mean that how you connect these specific things to each other according to the query semantics, and macro and micro semantics determine your efficiency for your, let's say, macro relevance. In this case, if I take the overdose and change relapse to overdose, how you use this, how many times you use this, in how many different web pages use this specific concept will be determining your overall relevance. So the first step is actually checking the page level relevance. I understand that, but I will suggest you to get these most important concepts as much as possible. Then try to check which ones actually you are missing. Then understand that in your information graph, where this specific concept is actually, which coordinate it has, how many connections it has, then compare it to your competitor. If your competitor is able to use these concepts in a more accurate way with definitions, evidences, researches, if they're able to use them in a more relevant way, they will be ranking higher whenever there is a context from this concept. If there is an overdose concept or context, if there are some other derived attributes or query connections based on this, they will be able to rank higher. So first suggestion is take the most important, not just 100. If there are 3,000 concepts like this, take all of them. Then try to see whether you mention them or not based on distributional semantics. Then go for semantical semantics and check how you are mentioning them, because they are not just ranking your web page, they will be ranking you as a web source. If you are not able to create these connections as it should be, you won't be able to rank as it should be. Let's check another one. Let's say the word shopping, because it's also a type of addiction. Maybe we didn't use it as it should be. 41 pages have it, and even this actually has been updated or published like 5 days ago. Shopping addiction. Basically, we have a definition here, right? So this is the section that we defined it, and it is ranking. Then we have compulsive buying disorder, which is different thing from the shopping, but apparently it is connected. We can directly check whether we have actually an internal link here or not, whether we forgot it or not. Then we have online shopping addiction, which is another page. And it is not directly taking that much query as much as we can see here. Then we can actually check that which type of, let's say, whether the word online here has enough level of search demand or not. If it does not have enough level of search demand, this can go directly inside this as a supplementary content. Or if there are a few queries, or if there are some other concepts that we can connect to the online, like online gambling addiction maybe, or something like that, we can try to keep this supported for ranking for other type of or group of pages. This is about a little bit how you structure your semantic content network in this section. And if I choose another one, I don't think that we have actually a missing concept. By the way, I am using ChatGPT for the first time. So maybe we have, because search engine ChatGPT's data is different, but apparently we have most of that. So try to see how you are using it, how many times you are using it, and how your competitor is using it, and try to close the gap between these things. And one more suggestion from me is that try to use other search engines and their angles, not just the Google. To be honest, Microsoft Bing has been improving their own search engine result pages in a tremendous amount of way with different type of, let's say, improvements. And I believe they are being used way much more. For instance, when it comes to the images, they directly give you actually image tags in this area: image of addiction, addiction pics, addiction disorder, addiction posters, for example. Then in this area, you directly see their own knowledge graph, and they are giving you actual different types of the addiction. And in this area, they are using the, let's say, the Wikipedia. Then they give other names here, which is important for us to use them like actually a synonym, and you can see all of them like addiction disorder, severe substance use disorder, or substance use addiction, etc. Then we have these clickable other sources in this section directly. Like, let me just open one of them quickly. Since I am taking videos from the Mac, it's harder for me than usual, but I will be getting my Windows very, very soon. And here they are actually bolding this part basically, and this is a definitive sentence. If they are bolding actually beginning of the definition, it means that actually they are just telling that this is a relevant answer rather than that it is a responsive answer. If they will be bolding this part, it will have a different meaning there. And you can check the sources in this section too, or what they are focusing on most of the time. The right context here is heavier. Then we have this people also ask question with different type of answers. Try to check these and check their also, let's say, their own ChatGPT or SGE answer in this section with these specific resources. And try to check these area with extra questions too. Because when I create my semantic content network, I'm not just using actually the Google, I also use other search engines. And in my experience, they are even actually imitating each other when it comes to these icons, even pixel differences between these specific buttons or pixel differences in this area. Even if actually you can check this color, the background color, I mean, in this part, behind this, it might be used sometimes by Google too. They are repeating each other for different type of sections, and they take the patterns to actually not being repeated. You can also check these explore further parts and these resources too. Average link count in a Bing search engine result page is way much higher than the Google. If you just go for the Google, you won't see this amount of richness. Google has a more narrow and focused section there. You can use Google to understand actually which sources are more authoritative and what pages are ranking based on what by checking their, let's say, anchor text and headings, etc., or internal links. But when it comes to here, you can see actually a broader aspect and you can try to get the benefit of it. I will suggest you to click also here too, because this is the about this result or about this source section. If we just pin it, you can see this why they are actually trusting this source too. I will show you one more thing. Let's open this. I will be writing a separate article for it, but to be able to do that, I need to go actually Microsoft Edge. Sorry. If you go to the Microsoft Edge and I am trying to open it, where it is being opened, okay, it's very slow since I have multiple things here. Just click to the Copilot here, and when you click that Copilot, go to the Insights. In this area, actually, you will be able to see that many key phrases from this page in a quick way, topics here, and other related videos that you can watch for it. People also view based on these videos as well. And if you go for bottom, you will see that actually how well the users of the Microsoft Bing trust this. If I say trustworthy, you see the results here too. Then see NewsGuard reliability rating. Then you see Healthline.com result, and you see the traffic of Healthline according to the Microsoft, and the visit countries or how visitors find this website, all these things. Use other search engines to understand each other. I always tell that traffic or popularity and traffic are directed trust signals. Where you are visited again represents the local relevance or user cluster. How well actually which websites are flowing traffic to again represent your identity, and which websites you are clustered together with again represent your trustworthiness one more time. And we are taking direct feedback here, and also Google started to have this Google Notes. To be honest, I won't be not Google Note like that, but let me just give notes on SERP. It is an update, maybe you missed it, but basically Google started to actually give ability to users to add notes. Imagine that I visit here, I'm able to write a note about this page directly. In the past, Google had Google Answers and Google Wiki. Basically, we were able to open, as in Microsoft right now, we were able to open a subbar here, and imagine that you are asking questions or you are writing your review about this specific web page. And they are bringing this type of conversational and forum-like experiences back. And this becomes more and more important since we see that new forum structured data came, and expanded knowledge panel for all the companies are coming. Organizational structured data has been updated. And we also see that more forums and from forums type of search features appear more too. I am telling this because all these things are also connected to the Google perspectives. Basically, based on the persons and personalities, they give experience and different type of perspectives, and they start to reflect on directly on the pages as much as possible. In the context of the Blue Hat, you can use this actually, or you can use perspectives, or you can use these Microsoft Bing information and also the clustered websites or other things to be appearing on different platforms. I always suggest everyone to have a subreddit for your own brand, for instance. Get links from Reddit, get user signals from Reddit, and be visited from Reddit as much as possible. And when it comes to the, let's say, the perspectives, you can always reflect different type of perspectives or experiences in your content. When it comes to treatment of the addiction, yes, you need science and expertise. But when it comes to, for instance, husband, let's say your husband is addicted, and you try, as a wife, you try to actually convince your husband that the person is addicted. it doesn't require that much expertise. It actually requires observation, communication, and some past experiences. You should understand that when you should be having some conversational content and try to add them to your content as well. And this is actually what has been done in this specific project thanks to the content briefs that are already being created. Because if you want to rank on Google or other type of search engines, you need to understand the search engine. If you're able to understand the search engine, then you don't need to, let's say, get panicked or crying one day when you wake up. And since you won't see that your website has been crashed directly, you won't have these type of bad days. Just understand search engine is easier and cheaper than just creating a website from zero. And to be honest, with the latest updates, I am getting everyday messages like my website has been hit. Can you help me? So I wish, but lately I'm trying to invest in some companies and startups, but you can always join to our, let's say, communities. Try to subscribe to our newsletter. You will be getting a welcoming email with the links to our Discord, Telegram channel, and even subreddit, and also the Facebook group. You can also join to our LinkedIn newsletter as well. And with that said, we will be meeting in new SEO case studies together. If you want, you can drop your questions below. I will be happy to answer them. See you later.